Hello students, this is a class for BA part 2 and we continue with Macbeth introduction and we have reached to the act 4 and we will be doing scene first and second in this lecture. Scene first, we come across the witches in this scene. The witches are once again introduced in this scene. They are busy preparing a magic broth. ब्रोथ किसको कहते हैं? एक कढ़ाई में बहुत सारा जो कुछ लिक्विड सा बनाते हैं ये मैजिकल. तो दे आर प्रिपेयरिंग ए मैजिकल ब्रॉथ फ्रॉम स्ट्रेंज इंग्रेडिएंट्स. Some of the ingredients which have been thrown into the boiling cauldron कहते हैं कढ़ाई को, are toad's venom. Venom is poison. Toad का जहर, a slice of a snake caught from the fen, the eye of a net, the wool of a bat, the tongue of a dog, the fork of an adder, the leg of a lizard, and wing of a young owl. All these are the organs obtained from animals, feather or fowl, but they are animal organs, and all the animals that they have chosen are very, you can say, dangerous kind of animals, creatures. As the witches watch the cauldron boiling, they all sing their incantation, which indicates that their object is to multiply the toil and trouble which human beings have to suffer in this world. See, on surface we know that they are trying to help Macbeth, whereas actually they are trying to multiply the troubles of human beings. They are against human beings. And here Hecate is actually the goddess of these wicked creatures. So Hecate arrives and compliments them on their having prepared their magic spell so well. Then one of the witches informs the others that pricking of their thumbs shows that some wicked person is coming to meet them. And then Macbeth arrives. He calls upon the wicked witches to answer his questions and give him the information that he needs, even if in providing such information they have to bring about great ruin and destruction in nature. The witches know what questions Macbeth wants to ask them, and Macbeth is shown a number of apparitions, one after the others. Apparition means आकृतियाँ, कुछ आकृतियाँ मैकबेथ के सामने से उभरती हैं and they supply some information that he needs. The first apparition is an armed head which tells Macbeth that he should beware of Macduff. तो पहली भविष्यवाणी या पहली prediction क्या हुई? That he should beware of Macduff. Macbeth already is in suspicion with Macduff, and this kind of prediction instills greater hatred against Macduff in him. The second apparition appears, दूसरी आकृति आती है, and it's a bloody child which tells Macbeth that he can defy the power of man because none of woman born shall ever be able to harm him. That is to say, Macbeth cannot be killed by any person who is woman born. एक तरह से अमरत्व का वरदान उसको मिलने की बात होती है. The third apparition is a crowned child. सर पे क्राउन है ऐसा बच्चा, holding a tree in his hand. From this apparition, Macbeth learns that he will never be defeated in battle. कब तक? कभी नहीं हारेगा. कब तक? Till the Birnam Wood and moves to Dunsinane Hill. Dunsinane Hill is the castle of Macbeth, और वहाँ तक जब तक बिरनम का जंगल नहीं आ जाता, बिरनम वुड नहीं आ जाता, तब तक ही विल नॉट बी डिफीटेड इन वॉर. तो ये इस तरह की भविष्यवाणियाँ हैं जिसको जनरली दे आर वेरी, यू कैन से, वेग काइंड ऑफ predictions, Or for Macbeth, they are very confidence giving promises. And then Macbeth is not satisfied with the information that he has so far obtained, though whatever he has learned is welcome to him. The witches then show him 8 kings, followed by Banquo, who holds a mirror in his hand and is smiling at Macbeth. It becomes clear to Macbeth that the 8 kings represent Banquo's descendants, offspring, or children who are to rule over Scotland. And then the witches vanish, and Macbeth is joined by Lennox, the nobleman, who brings a message that Macduff has fled to England. On hearing this news, Macduff decides to seize Macduff's castle and to give orders for the murder of Macduff's wife and children. This scene actually shows a new development in Macbeth's character. He is now completely dominated by the lust for power, and he has shed all his moral scruples, which were at one time very strong in his mind. He was not able to get himself prepared to kill Duncan, even though that murder would make him the king, but he was not able to kill him. He does not now mind, लेकिन अब क्या हो गया है, he does not even falter in answering his questions when the witches give him a reason that a widespread destruction will be caused to sustain his kingship. Similarly, on being warned to beware of Macduff, he makes up his mind that Macduff must die. He is ready to kill Macduff. Accordingly, as soon as Lennox informs him that Macduff has run away to England, Macbeth decides the course of action, and that course of action horrifies us. This decision of his prepares us for the next scene. Now, the next scene is really very terrible. Scene second of Act 4. Here, the scene shifts from Macbeth to Macduff's castle at Fife. Fife is a place in Scotland, and it is actually the castle of Macduff. Ross arrives here and informs Lady Macduff, wife of Macduff, that her husband has fled from Scotland. Lady Macduff deplores her husband's action and criticizes him for paying no attention to his family's safety. Ross tries to soothe her, but she is convinced that her husband has little love for her and her children. When Ross is gone, Lady Macbeth tells her son that he should regard his father as being dead. The son asks her all type of questions as children do, and Lady Macduff tries to satisfy his curiosity, and finally she says, "Poor prattler, how thou talkest." And at this moment, a messenger arrives and informs Lady Macduff that she and her children are in great danger, and she would do well. It will be very good if she quits this place immediately. She goes away from this place immediately. Messenger goes away, and Lady Macbeth wonders where she can go. She has done no harms to anyone, but it occurs to her that to do harm in this world is often something laudable. Just then, a number of ruffians arrive there. One of them stabs Macbeth's son, who cries to his mother to run away. But the ruffians chase Lady Macbeth in order to murder her also, and in this manner, the scene comes to an end with a hint that Lady Macbeth and her children are killed. The flight of Macduff from Scotland without having done anything at all for the security of his family is problematic. Whatever be the reason for this action, he behaves like a most irresponsible husband. Not all his patriotism and integrity can remove our impression of his lack of a sense of duty towards his wife and children. But this scene is remarkable for the atmosphere of pathos, the tragic atmosphere, which is built up bit by bit till the effect of absolute horror is created with the arrival of the murderers who put to death Lady Macbeth and her son. Our hearts bleed with pity at the brutality that is perpetrated in this scene, even not sparing the little child. And we now come to know the tyranny and villainy of Macbeth, absolute tyranny. Thank you very much. Actually, we will proceed in our next lecture with scene third and fourth, and in this manner we will reach to the conclusion of Act 4, which is actually the climax of the play. The action is very speedily moving, and we come to know of Macbeth's hardened heart now. Thank you very much.